So if you know your rhetoric, you know there are different kinds of rhetorical appeals. There's the appeal to logic, which nobody pays attention to these days. Um, there's the appeal to authority, which you get a lot, right? That was a big appeal during COVID, right? Dr. Fauci says 4 to 5 doctors say that's the appeal to authority. All right, it says in the Bible, or whatever appeal you want to use, right? Like that's authority. God says. But then there's also the emotional appeal, and this is the prevalent appeal in our culture in the West at this moment. Because nobody actually, we talked about it last time with critical thinking, nobody does critical thinking. They do critical feeling. Maybe I just coined a phrase. We're going to go with critical feeling from now on. And that works. It works like a charm. Get it? Works like a charm. And education of quantity and the shitty education you get through K through not just K through 12, K through graduate school, just breathes the imagination out of people.
Right.
And people don't get it, right? People defend that poisonous system as if it's a societal good. And I know because I was inside. And I have a big criticism of colleges and universities and the bullshit that goes on in them. And people think I'm just being too hard. No, I'm not. I know how sausage is made. Right? Yeah. I've been there, right? Don't tell me, you don't tell somebody who's done it for a living how it works, right? And they don't want people to have raw milk. They shut down. Actually, they were going after some Amish butchers recently. Raw milk cheeses and organically raised beef, and they made them throw it all out. The Michigan Department of Agriculture, because they're the devil and we're the good guys. People are served shit food, chemtrails to keep them on medicated for their lives. I mean, we live in a poisoned environment, a poisoned food environment.
Yeah.
And there is an antidote to that, and it's not expensive.
In the lockdowns, I kept wondering, like, we were having this supply chain issues, and I kept thinking, what's going to happen if for some reason people can't get their anti-anxiety or antidepressant or anti-schizophrenic or antipsychotic? Really, those zombie apocalypse movies would, like, and it reminds me. Here's where I go with those thoughts. I remember Exxon Mobil, the tanker that spilled all the oil, and I remember thinking how shocked I was when it happened. I'm like, oh well, that accidents happen, right? But then they had no contingency plan for cleanup,
right?
So like. And then I started seeing this everywhere. There's all this industrial stuff going on, but if something goes wrong, there's no plan in place for that, right? Like we have a gold mine, and one of the tailings dams broke, and all this cyanide went down a mountain slope and into one of the most pristine lakes in British Columbia called Quesnel Lake, and then washed down the Horsefly River. And they never even got a fine. Nobody got fired, and it was and there was no cleanup because they have no plan.
Gangsters, right?